It's your boy, Sweet Tooth, coming at you live with Flutter Pyrox is gonna play Seduce
You really
Me.
are into that now.
Yeah. Hello. I do like the music a little. Wait, this was Seduce Me. What?
The Otome.
Seduce Me. Seduce Me, senpai. This is a fictional interactive narrative. Any characters resembling? I don't think so. Also, please know that the following game is made for PG-16 audiences. Please know that sexual violent themes are explored in this game. Trigger warnings, abuse, implied rape. What?
I'm
Implied
triggered.
rape? But it's PG-13, 16? 13. Oh, parental guidance for 16. But there's implied rape. And suicide.
Like we only implied it. It's not so bad because it's just implied, obviously.
And then it says you have been warned. Warned that it's PG-16, meaning that it's not rated anything worse than that.
I get the feeling that this game is an
Why, hello.
They just said what they felt it should
My,
be.
aren't you a gorgeous sight? Can I be honored enough to know your name?
It's fully voiced. Huzzah!
It's, yeah, sure, Mika.
A lovely name for a lovely person like you. Wonderful.
You can just
Eric,
hear
do your
Sweet
job.
dying.
Yeah, Eric.
Very well. This game was produced by Seraphim Entertainment under the direction of Michaela Laws and is powered by Ren'Py Visual Novel Engine. We truly hope you'll enjoy this story. I know I'll enjoy it since you'll be in it.
Is a developer trying to seduce me?
Yes.
What? Bruh.
Eric,
I believe that this is
Fine,
actual characters you'll see in the story.
Farewell,
They're being
my
interested to
sweet.
do this.
Come on! Is that all you got?
How many energy did we use that time? Like, that was at least 20 energy right there.
I don't know.
Wanna try me, asshole?
Yeah, asshole.
Oh!
Did somebody just shoot someone?
I
Crap!
don't know, it sounds like
Missed.
that.
let's retreat for now.
No kidding. Let's get out of here.
Can I do this with spacebar?
That's right!
Okay.
You better run, you stupid punks! Stay out of our territory!
Oh my god, it's Game Wars.
What is this? Get off my lawn simulator?
That could be a thing.
This formula, created in the 70s, is one of the most important in the field of financial theory.
I feel like there's 3 plots happening at the same time.
It is used to calculate the price of European-style options
got a good
and is widely
pull.
used by option marketers, though there are some discrepancies that are now corrected with the modern viewpoint.
Okay, so first you have the developer or developer's friend try to seduce you.
I don't think
Right in the tutorial. That's what I'm assuming happened. I don't know if that is happened, but that's my first
I
reaction.
think that was characters from the game trying to get early points with you.
And then we had some people trespassing onto, like, somewhere, and then,
That was either Get Off My Lawn or Game Wars.
yeah. That was get off my lawn.
And now we're in school.
And now we're learning about European-style finances or something. Rain. It's been a long time since we've gotten rain around here. But it's the season for rainy weather. So, how do you know?
It feels like she's making a phone call.
It hasn't rained in a long time. How do you know it's rainy season? Meteorologist? Sure. She likes rain. And she doesn't like the class. I don't either. I agree with that one.
You'd rather talk about rain than about class?
Economics is okay.
Economics.
Only taking this class because it was mandatory.
That explains most classes in college and in high school.
I didn't hate high school. You are one of a kind.
High school is pretty good.
What?
Middle school sucks.
I'm the only one that hates high school, huh?
Here at least. I'm pretty sure that there are like multiple people that hate high school.
But then she says the only thing I really enjoyed about going to school was meeting my friends. Well, at least you had friends.
I was immediately triggered by the fact he has friends.
Well, yeah, I've had like spurts of like 10 years of absolutely zero friends. It's like a slap in the face every time I see that.
Like, I just like school, but I have a lot of friends.
Good for you. It seemed like the start of something new, something that would change. That is, if things could change. But I thought you were okay with school.
No, I'm just feeling like this is High School Musical.
No.
Started as something.
I thought she was okay with school and her friends. Now she says, I wish things would change. What?
Miss Anderson.
Oh, that's a weird face.
She's angry. Deal
No.
with her.
That nose. What is that? That nose looks familiar.
It does?
I feel like I've read some comic strips or something with that kind of nose. Her face is so weird. Just when I was thinking about class, I quickly turned my head to face the teacher. You're the only one in the classroom? Oh!
It's a lot of effort to draw more people in the classroom.
Look at her. Look at your own face. Oh, that's weird.
Hey, the art style looks really good, though. Like, just in general.
Not to me.
Would you care to name the equation I set up on the blackboard?
Economics. Economics. The Black-Scholes model formula.
Very good as always, Miss Anderson.
Yeah, that. Let's go with that. No doubt, since the surname was a trademark of the internationally famous and philanthropic Anderson Family Toys, and because the founder was my own grandfather.
So I guess she's rich.
Why is this important? Suzu, one of my best friends, turned around and proudly gave me a punch to the shoulder. Right in front of the teacher, huh? That's detention.
Kick ass, girl.
Yeah, yeah, that's detention.
Another student appeared. There are more people in this class.
If they... Wait, is her eyes cross-eyed? No. Okay, that's detention times 2. If you don't get detention, I'm calling bullshit on this game. Clearing her throat in obvious disapproval of Suzu's choice of words.
Beat the cute guys.
From beside me, I heard Naomi, another one of my best friends, clearing her throat in obvious disapproval of Suzu's. What about the teacher? The teacher's looking at you, right?
Yeah.
Or is she done?
Good job.
The teacher's dumb, obviously.
I mean, just done looking at you, but...
The teacher's done with this. The teacher's like, this is
Miss
shit, I'm
Capini.
done with it, who cares?
Oi!
Care to tell me who the creators of this formula were?
Some guys named Black and Scholes.
Good answer.
Fisher Black and Myron Scholes.
Know it all, egghead.
Very good, Miss Patterson.
No. You're a
Show
freaking
off.
nerd. Nerd!
study next time, Suzu. Be like us and study once in a while.
Okay, don't be patronizing, egghead. Suzu rolled her eyes and slouched into her chair as Naomi gave her a small smirk. She always pouted when Naomi showed her up.
That's the end of today's lecture. Now,
Probably because
let's separate into
she's
groups
probably
and work on
planning
your
like
projects.
10
Remember,
years ahead of
everything is
doing
due on Monday.
revenge on
Go ahead now.
Naomi. I would hope to God it was the end of today's lecture. Now you're surrounded by your friends, quote unquote. It was a sheer stroke of luck that we all managed to be in the same class. No duh. You never end up in the same class. So we had to at least take the opportunity to stick together as much as we could. Besides, we were most comfortable around each other than, say, compared to being around any other classmate.
I'm assuming that.
Why not open your borders?
I'm assuming the fact that you didn't get detention means that this punching each other is a common occurrence.
I feel like you're stuck in your own little social circle of you and your two friends, and you're not open to the world.
Sweet is triggered.
Triggered it. It just made sense for us to put our heads together for any kind of project. I took out the poster we were working on and rolled it up and onto the 3 desks. We were pretty much finished with fulfilling most of the guidelines for the project, though we did still have to add a few finishing touches here and there.
This project that everyone actually works together on. It's admirable.
Well, you do that in Katawa Shoujo as well. I can never say the name correctly. After working on making a poster a bit prettier, it's actually better in Katawa. Like, this whole group thing. It's actually pretty cool. We sat back and expected our work to see what we still had to do. Naomi, as usual, was the first to look for any issues. She lightly tapped a pencil against her chin, staring intently at the project.
Alright, so let's see. We finished the budgeting section, the building leasing, and the cost for labor. What else do we need?
Economics. Suzu straightened up to look at the poster and stroked her chin. After a few seconds, her face brightened and she spoke up.
How about a company name?
Huh? Did we really skip over that?
Not only that, but you need licenses. So if you sell any retail goods, you're going to need a TDP license or some kind of tax license to do retail business. Just one of those things. There's many other stuff you gotta do.
Of course we did! You always go straight into the logical statistics and stuff that you completely skip over the fact. We need a name for our project.
No, also what you need to do, other than the name, is register with your government for government tax, and then register with your state government for your state tax, and then register with your local city government for your city tax.
I'm not sure they'll make high school and college students do all this.
Well, that's economics.
At least we caught it this time. What do we name it?
Black Shoals, whatever.
Not sure. What do you think?
Black Shoals. It always came down to me whenever there was something to be named or titled. I was the master in ending decision even when I didn't want to be.
I like Trinity Corporations.
That is way too predictable. How about the Dragon Company?
What do dragons have to do with our project?
What? It's a totally unpredictable name. It's hot.
But our company sells bubble gum.
Who said we can't produce spicy bubblegum?
What do you think?
Yeah. What do you think?
First choice of the game.
No, I would call it Bubble Yum.
can't say that. You have to choose a side. Destroy your friendship.
I don't know what the hell you were thinking with Dragon Company. And Trinity Corporation is like, it's not really a corporation. No, we're going with Dragon Company. No, it's not a. Trinity is like the freaking religious crap. And it's not a corporation, it's a company. It's not corporate yet. Come on.
They want to be corporate. This is so bad.
Naomi.
They screw everyone over.
Naomi. It's a company. It's not a corporation. And we better have something dragon related for bubblegum.
Well, she did say she wanted spicy bubblegum.
I don't like either of these. I'll just pick you.
Blah, fine. Be lame.
You're lame.
Alright, now that we've decided on a name, now what?
How about Suzu's lameness? As we ended our name game, a giggle scrambled my thoughts. Who was that?
Ignore it. It's just Lisette.
No, who's Lisette? I looked over my shoulder to see her laughing with her circle of friends, mostly comprised of popular people that were practically friends with everyone in the school. Oh, the popular kids. And as a result, everyone in the school knew them, and the center of it all was Lisette White. Oh, White. Yeah, definitely evil. She sat with a posture that indicated she was still working, but that she was... Wait. Oh, that was weird grammar. She sat with a posture that indicated she was still working, but that she was also all ready to casually chat about her day. That feels weird, that sentence. She had an endearing balance of charismatic and awkward, awkward what? An endearing balance of charismatic and awkward what? You're using an adjective of what? Which was readily apparent when she first talked to someone. It was easy to make her smile and laugh, and she was quite the comedian as well. Basically, she was perfect. Not that she was like a robot or something, but she was the student that everyone else wanted to be. Yeah, sure, robots are perfect. Robots are perfect. Everyone knows.
Robots are perfect.
They can do no wrong. Lisette was bright, easygoing, and above all, had her future laid out right in front of her. In high school? You know nothing of the world until you're out of high... Oh shit, we're in school. Here we go with another story where we're in school. How many times do I have to go back to school? I haven't been in school for like 20 years.
Million.
I am so done with school and school stories. Unlike the average student, she knew what she wanted to do after high school, and as a result, she was confident and ambitious, but sometimes it could rub a lot of people the wrong way. Well, actually, she's got a few things figured out. Moreover, I had known her ever since I was young, but it had ultimately resulted in a rivalry that continued today. Of course, my friends knew that what was between us, and upon seeing me glance at her, they shifted their attention to her.
She doesn't even look like she's working, in my opinion.
She doesn't look like she's working, but she's got a few things figured out after high school. What about you, Naomi?
She probably is, but she's too much of a stuck-up priss to allow herself to look like she's actually doing work.
Same with you, Susie.
Oh, come on,
Suzu.
Suzu.
Wait a
She
minute.
may
aren't
be
you
a
in
little
college?
off-putting, but she's not the giant priss that you're making her seem to be.
Naomi, your name is usually given to those that originate in Egypt. Suzu, your name should have been Susie. What are you? A fucking car? A Suzu?
The day she isn't a priss is the day I turn into you.
You're about to get slapped. The day she isn't a priss is the day I turn into you.
What's that supposed to mean?
Never mind. It's about time! Let's bail!
Oh, she ran fast. Unsurprisingly, Susie was the first out of the classroom. See? Fast like a car. I was right. She's a freaking car. Slinging her backpack over her shoulder with her ease as she quickly strolled out of the door. Strolled? That was a full-blown run.
Her seat isn't even closest to the exit, and she always manages to be the first one out of the door. I don't think I'll ever understand that.
I thought this was a dating game, so I don't understand that. I'm in classroom talking to my two friends, which are actually jerks. I don't know. I'll agree with you, Naomi. She gave me a smile as if relieved by the fact that I felt the same way as she did.
See? Why can't she just be normal like the two of us?
Exactly. Let's gang up on her. It's Susie, Naomi. Think about it.
Very true.
Man, you guys are slow. Are you coming or what?
We heard you the first time. Not everyone has rocket boosters attached to their legs when the bell rings.
And by the way, we're 4 cylinders, not 8 cylinders like you.
Are you kidding me? That class was ridiculously boring. Even Miss Valedictorian here was dozing off a bit.
I do have to admit I was spacing out. And just because I answered one question doesn't mean I'm automatically the valedictorian.
Okay, so it wasn't too interesting. But you should at least pay attention when Phillips is talking about the important parts.
So you finally admit it. We're finally on the same wavelength. Welcome to the club, Patterson.
Please, don't call me by my last name. This isn't the classroom. And never in a million years will we ever see things eye to eye.
I thought we were friends, and I thought we had great times. This does not feel like we're friends, and this does not feel like great times. Despite this, they both burst out in laughter. Okay, so insulting each other is normal. Maybe they were just perfect compliments, or personality just didn't dictate the possibility of their friendship? Opposites attract, and that's the best thing ever? That's like the worst of them.
Alright, so where are we heading to first? Cafeteria? I think we can all agree that we're really hungry, especially after hearing about our company's line of deliciously spicy bubblegum.
Who would even buy that? I wonder.
Me? I would pay good money to get a taste of it.
You do like spicy food after all. And everybody's fast. We entered the cafeteria, a bustling room filled with the aromas of different kinds of food. As we got in line, we ordered our meals and chatted freely.
Cajun fries and the spicy chicken burger for me. That's my definition of a good meal.
I'll take a tuna sandwich and some juice. You're probably going to need water or something to curb all that spicy flavor, Suzu.
I thought this was a game about getting seduced, not spending time in school.
I can't be tamed by the likes of that. If it's spicy, then it's gotta be all or nothing.
You're crazy!
Yeah, you're crazy.
Hell yeah, I'm crazy.
Yeah, you crazy girl.
I think I'm getting a migraine.
I think I'll go with... I don't remember what Naomi was getting, I forgot. I would like Cajun fries and spicy chicken burger. Burgers are cool. Once we got our food, Suzu seems unimpressed. I picked your choice, jerk. We settled down at one of the empty tables, putting our backpacks aside to finally dig into the food.
Judging you for everything you decide to eat.
Alright then, is there anything we want to talk about?
How about the horsepower of Suzu?
Bored already?
I know, let's talk about...
Milkshakes.
Say boys, and I will never speak to you ever again.
Aw, why not?
What's so interesting about talking about guys?
Yeah, let's
Not
talk
like
about
any of
guys.
us are gonna get boyfriends anytime soon.
We don't know that. What if one of us does get a boyfriend?
Yeah, what if we do, Suzu?
Like that's going to happen, Naomi. Look at us. I'm a tiny Italian. You're a ditzy blonde.
Which are perfect in some men's eyes.
Hey!
No offense. And Anderson here. Well, I guess she could land a boyfriend or girlfriend if she wants.
I totally could.
Or girlfriend?
No, boys.
She can be a lesbian if she wants.
I could if I wanted to.
True.
That's okay, Suzu. Not sure I want a boyfriend yet.
Why not? It's our senior year. Might as well get a boyfriend.
Don't pressure me.
Maybe she's just not interested in a relationship, Suzu.
Yeah. How about that, Suzu? It really wasn't about wanting a relationship, but more if there was no one interesting enough to be in a relationship with. Don't get me wrong, I'm an open person, but there were not many interesting guys in the school to go out with. Who knows, time will tell. Naomi looked at me wanting to continue the conversation. However, before she could speak, the speakers in the cafe started up and an announcement echoed throughout the cafeteria.
Miss Anderson, please come to the main office immediately. Please bring your things with you.
Uh-oh.
Oh my.
You in trouble?
Looks like our plans have been cut short. The men in white coats have finally come to get you.
I would hope so.
Suzu, don't joke around. What if it's serious?
I must have been crazy to pick that company name.
Fine. If something happens, just call us.
How? I'm getting taken away. Funny enough, something did happen, and it certainly was no laughing matter. Cold. It was really cold. The rain became heavier that afternoon, accompanied by rolling thunder now and then. The skies had turned dark, though I couldn't see any of it under the black umbrella. Not that I was looking up. In fact, looking up was the exact opposite of what I wanted to do. I stared at the grass beneath my feet, unable to look at the people weeping around me. All I could see was the damp grass underneath my feet. Somebody died? Only the monotone eulogies that floated through my ears reminded me that I was at a funeral. It was only when the speeches ended that I finally was able to raise my head. A small gathering of people, made of relatives that I didn't even know were related to me, were huddled around a simple small grave. Harold Anderson, forever in our hearts. For a while, all I heard was the sound of raindrops on umbrellas. If it weren't raining, everything would probably be in heavy silence. I looked beside me where my father was standing and holding up a large black umbrella for our small family of 3. So it wasn't your father, was it your brother? His face was emotionless, a strange sight next to my weeping mother. I wondered what was going through his mind. After all, etched into the smooth gray tombstone before us was his father's name. Oh, your grandfather. Okay. My grandfather, the one who raised me like his own daughter, had passed away that day. The ceremony was small, only close family were allowed to come. Slowly, though, people began to leave, leaving my father, mother, and me behind at the grave. A man dressed in a clean black suit under the uniform black umbrella of the funeral attendees walked towards us, introducing himself as grandfather's lawyer. He pulled out a few documents from his suitcase and began to read aloud its contents.
And now, I shall read Harold Anderson's last will and testament.
Only my parents and I were allowed to be present for my grandfather's will. It was under the strict request of his lawyer, and there was a reason why.
And to my dearest granddaughter, I give my estate. All the furniture and decor that resides within the house shall also be given to my granddaughter.
Dang. What? Couldn't believe my ears. I had earned the family estate at 18. It was impossible. Yeah, how are you going to afford the property taxes? And yet it was written by my own grandfather's hand. Well, assuming you're in the U.S.
He passed the family estate to her? Why am I not surprised?
Okay, father.
Dear,
Well, did he say anything about what will become of the CEO and chairman position of the Anderson Toys Company?
No. It is presumed that the vice chairman will succeed the position.
Even to the bitter end, he wouldn't give in. What a stubborn old man.
Shaking his head, my father turned to face my mother with a serious expression on his face.
About the estate. Should we send her there to get used to the building? It'll be a good place for her to live after high school.
Are you sure we should?
Why not? This would be a good experience for her.
Honey, what do you think?
I really wasn't sure what to say. Why did my grandfather think that I was the appropriate heir to the mansion? Was I even ready to live on my own?
Well, that seems to be it. We'll be taking our leave now. I'm sure the little heiress needs some time to adjust.
David!
Even though she raised her voice, my dad wordlessly began walking back to the car, distant, interested.
Don't mind him, honey. I think that your grandfather's passing really affected him.
Well, of
Why
course
don't
he
we
didn't-
get back home for now?
Of course, he didn't get to be CEO. Apparently he's been trying for a really long time. You can go on ahead to the car, Mom. I think I need some time alone with Grandpa.
Oh, of course. Take all the time you need.
She gave me a quick hug and hurried after my dad. I looked around the funeral grounds, which was completely empty save for the sullen-looking grave that was laid in front of me. I'm sure that if Grandpa were in charge of arranging all of this, it would have been much different. It was blatantly obvious that my dad was in charge of the whole event. Who else would bury their own family the same day they pass away? Everyone knew my grandfather's love for toys, and yet the grave was a mere stone slab on the ground, void of any children's toys. My dad didn't even bother putting flowers. Man, hated him. His disdain for my grandfather was almost pitiful. Sorry, Grandpa. I tried to force out some words, but the only thing that came out was a choked sob. He told me to stay strong, but right now I'm the farthest from it. Like that one time a long time ago. Grandpa!
Oh, it's so good to see you again, sweetie.
I was swept into a giant bear hug, and we both laughed as he swung me around like an airplane. It was one of my favorite things about seeing my grandfather, the way he greeted me. Yeah, that's a good use of the semicolon. Unlike my father, my grandfather was loving and playful, even as I grew older. Sorry that Daddy couldn't be here today. He said that he wasn't feeling too good again. It'd always been like that. Dad missed every visit to Grandpa's house, citing that he was busy with work or wasn't feeling well. And that's why he got passed on the CEO thing.
Is that so? Well, that's okay. Daddy can come around next time. And you're here, right?
Yeah, so what are we doing today, Grandpa? Mommy says that there's a new dessert cafe open in town. Maybe we could go?
Oh, I would love to. But I've been so busy with the company these days. We're actually working on a little something. Would you like to see?
Yes. Is that a toy?
It is. I was designing a new line of them, but I feel like something's missing. You don't think you could help me out, could you?
Of course. He placed a toy in my hands with a smile, and I inspected it carefully. It was beautifully crafted, and obviously a lot of work was put into it. There was one thing.
So, what do you think?
I think the heart on its chest should light up when you hug it. It'll be like it's alive, and it can be like a little nightlight before you sleep. He stroked his chin, considering my input while nodding his head. After a few moments of silent deliberation, he turned to me with a chuckle.
That's a great idea. I'll get to changing it right away. You're always like my little lucky charm, dear. You always know what to add to make the perfect toy.
Yeah, that's why he liked you. You're probably offering him ideas. Well, I hope I can be like you one day, Grandpa.
You want to make toys as well?
Well, making people happy is the best feeling in the world. I don't know if I want to make toys when I grow up, though.
Don't worry too much about it. You have plenty of time to decide. Besides, you should do what makes you happy as well.
That makes sense. Daddy doesn't think of it the same way, though.
Your father. I'm sure he just wants the best for you.
I'm not so sure about that.
Sweetie, look at me.
He bent down to look at me eye level with a serious look on his face.
As much as your father may say something that doesn't make sense now, you must remember that he's always thinking about you. He loves you. There's no doubt about that. And you need to love him just as equally.
I like Grandpa. I don't hate Daddy. I really do love him. I don't know why he's like this, though.
Your father and I have had some difficulties with each other in the past. But it's nothing that you should be concerned about.
Not now, but sooner or later. I had heard tidbits of this from my mother and various other people. See, everything has a cascading effect, so sooner or later it will affect you in one way or another. The only people who had stayed quiet were my father and grandfather. Both of them refrained from saying a word on the subject matter, but it was clear that whatever happened set up a wall between them. It's hard, though, trying to pretend as if nothing were wrong.
However, no matter what, you have to stay strong. You're a big girl already, and, well, there'll come a day when it seems like it's you against the world. But always remember that your family and friends will be here with you.
I like Grandpa.
Daddy, Mommy, your friends at school, me. We'll stand together to get through it.
Favorite character in the entire game.
Yeah, he makes sense. How can you be so sure of that?
Because we'll be right here and here.
Pointed his finger to my head first and then pointed at my chest.
So stay strong. Promise?
For a moment he looked almost sad, pleading, but as quickly as it had, the expression disappeared from his face, and he was all smiles once again. Promise. Upon hearing that, Grandpa let out a great burst of laughter and stood up.
All right then. Enough of that. How about I whip up some special homemade dessert? I know I can't accompany you at that new cafe, but we sure can talk and eat while I cook and do some paperwork.
Homemade dessert? I'll race you to the kitchen.
Hey, slow down there. I'm not what I used to be.
You willed me the very home I loved to see you in. Why? Why would you think I would be ready to take it, especially after this? A surge of anger bubbled within me, but I quickly swallowed it. There was no use in getting mad, especially when the person in question was no longer there. I'm sorry, it's hard to stay calm when you've left me with so many questions, especially about what happened between you and Dad. What am I doing? Talking to a grave. My vision blurred, and I suddenly realized that I was crying. My face heated up as tears rolled down my cheeks. I'll bring you some flowers later. Miss you, Grandpa. I'll try my best to fulfill my promise I gave to you, even if the world might be turned against me. I left the grave, wiping my tears hastily so my parents wouldn't see.
Well, it's time to head back home. I'll cook up your favorite lasagna when we get home, okay?
Thanks, Mom. However, my dad didn't speak the entire drive home. I wanted to talk to him, but after his moment at the funeral, I wasn't sure if that was a good idea.
It's about time we took off those dreary black clothes.
Yes, Father. Gathering my courage, I decided then that it was time to talk. Dad, could I ask you something?
Go ahead.
Why do you want me to move into the estate so soon?
I thought I made that rather clear. The college near your grandfather's house is well known for its business program. You are planning to major in business, yes? Right after you graduate from high school, you'll just live there and can easily commute to and from school. It's a perfect fit for you.
But it's so sudden. You just decided so quickly after the funeral.
Don't be so sensitive. If you're like that in the real world, you'll be crushed.
I'm just saying that maybe we could talk a bit more about my future. In reply, my father rubbed his temples and sighed quietly.
After you graduate from college, you'll work at Anderson Family Toys. I have connections since I am part of the board of directors, so you will be guaranteed a spot. That is what we talked about before, yes?
But what if...
Stop mumbling!
But what if I don't want to work there?
Don't be silly. It's the family company. Our company. I'm not just going to hand it over to some incompetent vice chairman.
He came closer to me and his face softened.
Look, this is all for the best, okay? You may not know it right now, but you will appreciate it later.
For some reason, when I heard him say that, something snapped in me. I wasn't exactly sure what it was, but it made me feel so angry. It's called Teen Rebellion. Do you even care that grandfather passed away?
Of course I do.
Well, everything seems fine and dandy to you. Things couldn't be better.
Excuse me? I don't like your tone, young lady.
It's like nothing even happened at all. Like you just ignored the fact that he's no longer here.
Do not raise your voice at me!
What did he ever do to deserve this? My father, his face hardened, crossed his arms, and erupted in angry laughter.
Ha! You sure place him upon a pedestal, like he's some kind of venerated god or something. It makes me sick.
Is that it? Are you happy seeing grandfather dead? While everyone was grieving, were you holding yourself back from laughing in everyone's faces? Did you feel just a bit happier seeing him lie in the graveyard? Oh, and you got slapped.
You don't know anything! Running your mouth like somehow you know everything that went on, when you're just a little girl that doesn't know how to keep her mouth shut! You did not know my father! You did not know what he was capable of!
Well, what was he capable of?
Is everything all right? What happened?
Daddy slapped me. Nothing, I'm not hungry. I think I'll go upstairs.
Honey, wait!
Quickly turned and ran up to up the stairs to my room, slamming the door behind me. My breath came in short pants, and for a while I just leaned against the door to my bedroom, eventually sliding down to sit against it. How did things become like this? My cheeks still throbbed, and I tentatively stood up and looked at the mirror to see how it looked. Hopefully it doesn't bruise. What am I saying? Tears formed in the corners of my eyes, but I blinked them back rapidly. I couldn't cry for the second time today. I had to be stronger than that.
Are you all right? Your father told me nothing happened, but you know your father.
I'm fine. I just lost my appetite.
The lasagna's done, though, and I don't want you skipping any meals. Are you...
Yeah, don't worry about me, Mom. I'll come downstairs later to eat.
You're not telling me the whole story.
I just don't want to eat right now.
Please, dear. Tell me what's going on. I wish you would tell me why you're being like this.
I wanted to tell her. Part of me was screaming to tell her what Dad had done. At the same time, I knew she couldn't fix anything. Besides, I was moving out regardless. Remain silent, letting the event remain in the past.
Well, I'll leave your food on the table if you want to eat it later.
Finally, my mom left me alone. It was strange to think that she was only a few inches away from me, only separated by a single wooden door. I really didn't know what to do. I needed to do something, anything, to get my mind off of what just happened. How about what the game was actually supposed to be about? Getting seduced. It's about 45 minutes later, man.
But I thought you said you were seduced in the title screen.
Yeah, the only thing that happened was a developer or developer friend like seducing. What is this game?
Sweet has already been seduced. Now listen to my story about a dead grandpa.
Anything would be better than thinking more about the pain radiating from my cheek. I was going to move into my grandfather's house tomorrow. I should probably pack my stuff so I should be prepared for tomorrow. He said tomorrow in 2 different sentences. Yeah, that was a good idea. I should start packing. I opened the closet, rummaging around for a while before I finally found 2 large bags, Pulling them onto the floor, I then began to empty my drawers and cabinets so that I could bring all of my things with me. And you said my in the same sentence. See, I think the one that's right in the dialogue has a problem where he puts the same word in the same sentence, and it constantly brings my eyes to it. I mean, not intentionally, but it's there. I didn't have much to bring other than just clothes and some toiletries. It was kind of bizarre that I didn't have many personal belongings. It wasn't like my luggage was completely devoid of them, but I certainly didn't have many things in my room that I wouldn't miss if I just suddenly left the house. Like this sentence right here. It's really big, and it has, the comma to indicate that possible of two sentences, but technically it's still one big sentence. And it says, I. See, you'll see I is in there twice, and my is in there twice. It's a little weird. But whoever writes this dialogue is actually pretty good at writing. They just need to cut back on duplicate wording in the same sentence. I shook my head to rid myself of those thoughts. If it were going to be my new home, it would have to feel like it. One way or another, I was going to make it a home.
You turn the tables on me now, you drop me in your cage somehow. I can never escape from you, but baby, that's alright.
What the fuck was that? Slid my phone out of my pocket and answered it while slowly easing myself onto my bed. See, this is what I mean. There's actually three my's in the first sentence. I slid my phone out of my pocket, myself onto my bed. Probably just cut back on that just a little bit.
Hey, Anderson, you there?
Is everything alright? We were worried about you, so we decided to call. Hello?
Really glad you guys called. My voice managed to come out, though it was only a whisper.
What happened? Are you okay?
I got slapped. Well, slowly began to tell them about the funeral that afternoon. A small silence followed when I was done recounting what happened. To my relief, Naomi finally spoke up.
I can't begin to imagine how you must be feeling right now. I'm so sorry. Do you want us to come over right now?
No, it's okay. My dad isn't in a good mood, so could we just keep talking on the phone like this?
Of course! We'd stay on the phone until the crack of dawn. Right, Suzu?
Yeah, we're always here if you need us. After all, we wouldn't be the awesome triple threat trio without you, right?
Yeah.
Triple threat trio? That sounds like the name of a gang.
Yeah, let's start a gang. A bubblegum gang.
Yeah, I mean, we're all taking on the world together. We've got to sound somewhat scary, or else no one's going to take us seriously.
They've had the peanut butter gang? Well, we're gonna be the bubblegum gang. That's a old movie.
What's with you and naming things?
You've got to step up your game, Naomi. Falling behind to the cool kids like Anderson and me. Tisk, tisk.
Hey! I'm a cool kid! If anything, I'd say you'd have to step up your game.
Yes, Suzu. Step up your game. Get good. We chatted cheerfully about all sorts of things. Very soon I had forgotten about the events that day and was engaged in a conversation about Naomi's favorite TV show. Some program called Herlock. We all agreed that the actor playing the titular character certainly had a very distinctive look about him, with that long overcoat and scarf wrapped around his neck. We had many disagreements about who we thought was the coolest character. Yeah, he has really high cheekbones, and his eyes are pretty, though I do have to say I prefer Jetson. And as a bonus, his character is just so sassy. Hey, we're playing as Mika. We decide if he is cool character that's sassy. Come on. I looked at the clock hanging on the wall and realized how late it was. It's already 1 a.m. Sorry for keeping you guys up so late. I think I'm gonna hit the hay for tonight. See you guys at school tomorrow. Should probably shower and go to bed. I can't believe I stayed up this late just to talk to my friends. But it was really nice. Well, to the bathroom I go. I took a relaxing shower.
Do
Nothing
you feel seduced yet?
beat hot water and the feeling of being clean. Now, that's an improper use of the semicolon. That shouldn't be there. After drying myself, the semicolon is kind of a pause, like a comma, but it's a separation of two things that relate to the same idea in the same sentence. That really should just be a separate sentence. It's a separate thing entirely. Semicolon's inappropriate right there. A nice hot shower after a long day. I'm so glad to finally be in bed. It had been a really long day. I knew that I was wishing for something to change back in class, but I certainly wasn't expecting any of the things that happened today. And that's actually two sentences that are connected with the word but, so you should actually have a comma right there. And I have to go back to school tomorrow. Ugh. I curled up on my side and tightly wrapped the blankets around me. What'd you say?
Do you feel seduced?
No, it's like 51 minutes. Haven't had any kind of seducing happen. Other than what happened in the beginning, which was weird. I really wasn't in the mood to be returning to school, but my dad probably wouldn't make me go just for the sake of it. It's time to go to sleep. Go sleep. Go bed. Go
Time to go bed.
Time to go bed.
Go bed.
I reached out to the lamp on my nightstand and turned off the lights. However, my mind was so lost in the passing of my grandfather and the thought of inheriting something so big that it haunted my mind the entire night until the next morning. Oh my god, that was a huge sentence. Oh no. No, turn that off.
At least it wasn't the song of that song that's like good morning.
Ba-da-ba-da-bum, ba-da-ba-da.
No.
Good morning.
No.
It's gonna be a beautiful day. It's already time to wake up. Wait, school! As soon as I realized I had to go to school, I slid out of bed and looked at the vanity mirror. That's a relief. Luckily, there was barely a bruise on my cheek. You had to squint to actually see it. I doubted anyone would actually notice it unless they leaned in really close. Ah, so Dad's slaps are pathetic. Awesome. Breathing out a sigh, I got dressed, took my backpack, and caught the bus to go to school. Go tell Dad his slaps are pathetic. That's a bad idea. Don't do that. It wasn't even hours before everyone heard of the news. I was approaching school and giving condolences for my loss. However, that wasn't what shocked my friends.
Wait, so you have the whole Anderson house to yourself? Lucky as hell, man!
Woman. I'm a woman. Don't identify me as a man.
She should go to prison.
In-game.
Quit being so
Go to
sensitive,
prison.
Naomi.
That's obviously how
Quit
the
being
world
so
works
vulgar,
now.
Suzu.
Misgendering someone is a crime, and you will be taken to prison. You horrible bigot.
Oh, man, come on!
Not a man. Stop
See?
it.
She knows about proper public taste.
Yes.
I know how to be a lady. Sheesh.
No, you're a car. Guys, I'm going there after school today because my parents want me to give whatever you want.
Seriously? It hasn't even been a day since you came back to school.
Well, it's been about an hour and I haven't been seduced, so my expectations are kind of low. I know, but my parents want me to try to living there as soon as possible.
Still, that's really fast. Are you going to be okay?
No, my left arm on this chair is freaking cramping because it's been stuck there for 50 minutes, not being seduced. Of course. But even in the comfort of my best friends, life seemed to be keep the... Then I just fell over.
Hey! Don't go around around shoving people like that.
Yeah, whoever you are.
Whoops. Did I strike a nerve, Capini?
What are you, a slut? Why is your shirt tied like that? She let out a small laugh as she twirled her hair around her finger. Lizette, one of the last people I wanted to see today. Actually, you know what? Grease. It's almost like Grease.
It's not me you should be apologizing to.
Yeah.
Oh, Anderson. Hey, how's it going?
Pretty good. How are you? I'm alright.
Haven't you already heard, Lizette?
Of what?
Her grandfather's passing.
Yeah, it was pretty tragic.
Well, I'm sorry about that. I don't really watch a lot of news.
You know, for somebody that made friends with everybody, you don't really know that much about what everybody's up to.
It doesn't really sound like you mean it. I do mean it. Earnestly. Why wouldn't I?
Typical Capini. Isn't her family involved with the mafia or something? I wouldn't be surprised if she brought out a bat from behind her back right this moment.
What? She would do that? Can I be part of the same mafia? I had nearly forgotten the crowd that followed Lizette, which was mostly comprised of people that carried bats behind their backs that no one wanted to see on a typical school day. No one had the slightest idea why exactly they followed Lizette around persistently, but they labeled themselves as social equals with her. Can I go in their candy store?
That is out of line. Suzu comes from an honest family.
Says the one whose family profits from political scandals.
Oh, you didn't even open your mouth to say that one.
Yeah, your dad doesn't make anything unless he's in the court with dirty politicians.
Oh, maybe that was somebody else.
Hey, let's all calm down for a second, alright? I'm sure Anderson needs some time to recuperate. I mean, what just happened? We need to give her some respect.
That's kind of reasonable. Just stop. Stop acting like that already. Like you feel sorry for me.
What are you talking about?
I'm sure you're happy seeing me like this. You already have everything you've wanted. And now seeing me like this, life couldn't get any better. Bitterness seeped into me and words started flying out of my mouth without filter. But honestly, I didn't care. I was so consumed by anger that I only saw Lizette in front of me. What exactly am I to you? Just another part of your obstacle course? Is that what I am? I'm sick of it, Lizette. I'm sick of all these charades. I'm sick of you. Her face. Oh? Gasps rose from the crowd around her, and I was brought back to the school hallway. Even my friends beside me looked at me in surprise. One girl looked like she was going to speak up, but Lizette held her hand up to stop her. There was an emotion in her face that I couldn't quite make out, but I could see a form of pity in her eyes. No, don't you dare pity me. No, Lizette, don't feel sorry for me. Don't pity me. I looked away from her. I didn't want to see that emotion in her eyes when she was talking to me. She didn't have the right to look at me that way. You're getting a little self-righteous in your self, Mika.
I'm sorry. I know your grandfather passing away must have really taken a toll on your emotions.
See, she's being reasonable, Mika. Stop. She stepped towards me and put her hand on my shoulder, giving me a tiny smile as if for old time's sake. But for some reason, I didn't feel comforted at all. Not that I was just angry at her, but the expression on her face, when she leaned in close to me, contorted into something complex. Something was different about her. I couldn't quite place my finger on it, but something about her had definitely changed.
Well, I'll be going for now. Track meet responsibilities and all of that stuff. See you later.
Smell you later. Something about Lizette made me feel uncomfortable. I wasn't just angry, but also uneasy. What was it? I had never seen her like that before. She was reasonable. but I decided to pay no further attention to it. She continued running down the hallway with her gaggle of friends behind her. I refocused my attention to Mrs. Phillips, who was walking down the hall towards me.
Is everything all right, girls?
I don't know. It's only 1 hour and I've not been seduced. This does not feel all right.
Nothing we couldn't handle, Mrs. P. Just a bunch of snobs.
What kind of look is that? That is a comic book look. Comic strip look, right there. I have seen it before. I can't remember if it's Foxtrot or something else.
Suzu, hush! It was nothing, Mrs. Phillips.
I see. Well, Miss Anderson, please accept my condolences for your loss.
Thank you, Mrs. Phillips.
Your grandfather was a good man. He really upheld the philanthropy of his company's policies, and the money that went towards charity, too.
Mm-hmm. I know. He was amazing. I really looked up to him, and I want to be as good as he was.
Well, I know that you'll be as great as your grandfather.
Hell yeah, she will. She'll be 10 times better than her grandfather.
Yeah, even 100 times better. Would I? Would I really be better than my grandfather? Everything seemed to have high expectations for me. I wanted to be better. I wasn't sure about that. From outside the school window, I saw a familiar blue car pull up to the curb. Undoubtedly it was my father in the driver's seat. My ride's here. Well, I guess I'll see you about tomorrow.
Want us to come with you?
How am I supposed to get seduced if you come with me? Oh no, it's okay. I'll be fine. See you. Hey, Dad.
Hey, honey.
As I got into the car, I noticed my father looked troubled, clutching at his steering wheel and staring straight ahead, as if something was really bothering him.
About what happened yesterday. I'm sorry for yelling at you. Does your cheek still hurt?
No, it's nothing to worry about. Your slap was weak.
I mean it. I shouldn't have laid a finger on you. You know that you're my most precious daughter. You're all that I have.
It's okay, I understand. Grandpa was stressing it out even after his death. For some reason. Unexplained reasons. Yet he couldn't bring himself to say that he could never say to me for such a long time. I always wanted to hear those words to affirm how he really felt, but I guess even now he couldn't say it to me. I turned my head away to look out the window. There was no point in waiting for something that was never going to come. And like that, he started to drive, and the conversation between us ended. I decided to focus my attention on the passing scenery. We were taking the usual route to Grandfather's house. It was located... See, don't use a semicolon right there. That should have just been a period. It's a new sentence. It was located within the vicinity of the school district, but it was still pretty far from the school and from where our house was. See, and you used the word twice. The word from. It's right there. I can see it plain as day. He had always lived alone. He insisted on doing things by himself, even at his age, living in such a large house. I wondered, did he pass away with no one at his side as well? It sounded so lonely and sad. It was strange that he decided on living all alone in his large estate. If anything, he could have lived with us. Though he and my father probably would have given... Why am I going to be seduced? Yeah.
How
sure.
was school? Maintaining your grades, I hope.
Yeah, I've been trying my best so far. I've been trying my best as of so far. As of so far. Okay, that's some weird wording. I've been trying my best as of so far. Oh, that's weird. I've been trying my best so far. You just say so far. Don't say as of so far.
Are you seduced now?
No, look. That's almost like... As of so far almost sounds like Mufasa.
Trying? That's not really doing the best you can, is it?
Feeling seduced yet?
Hey, right on the microphone.
Yep. No escape.
With my father, only my words, I said, were filtered in my ears. Ugh, so much. So much. It's been an hour and 5 minutes.
Anyway, your belongings are in the trunk. There isn't a lot, so I'm sure you can manage bringing them inside the house. After all, you are on the road to being independent.
The economics lesson was so important.
Yes, I can manage my own. The usual silence resumed between us. I really wasn't sure. So, one question did linger in my mind, though. If he was going to justify acting so nonchalant at grandfather's funeral, I had the right to at least know why. Yep, ask. Say, Dad, about you and Grandpa.
We are not talking about this.
I feel like we should, because Grandpa did leave us yesterday, so...
I wouldn't care if he had left even long before that. I do not want to hear it, and that is the end of this conversation.
As always, he managed to shut down. Alright, bye, Dad. Alright. Look, just get out of the car. Stop thinking to yourself. Stop thinking to yourself. We're good. We're done. Get out of the car. No. Get out of the car. Okay, he got out of the car too.
Here we are. Go on in.
I can't. You're in the way. Tell Mom I love her. Get out of the way. I love you too, Dad. Get out of the way. I can't get in Grandpa's house. Okay. Thank you. How are you going to pay the property taxes on this? Seriously. If this is the U.S. I don't know if it is. It has not been confirmed. I think. It's probably Japan. That's when I saw them. Lying on the floor was a group of men. They were all... You said all twice. They all were unconscious, but there was no explanation as to why they were there in the first place. I dropped my bags as I left the...
There's just a bunch of guys laying on the floor.
You just have a bunch of guys lying... Did Grandpa kidnap these people? The heck are these guys?
Should we just walk out and get Dad again and be like, there's a bunch of strange men in my house?
Yeah. Are these real people or are these toys? Some of them had open wounds. The blood was staining the floor and the sink. Oh my god. Dad, come back. Dad, come back. I couldn't help but feel bad. Dad, I have had second thoughts about this whole individualism thing. But nevertheless, I was shocked and a bit angry at the sudden intrusion.
You're angry at them.
My mind suddenly went from caring and concern to confused and demanding answers. Who are you guys?
Yes,
no response. I'll call the police. Still nothing. None of them... Are they dead?
They're unconscious. Why are you yelling at unconscious people?
Just... What the hell's going on? Call the police. Get out of there.
Get out of the room first.
None of them seemed to be awake to answer or respond to me. It seemed surreal to have random strangers in the house I just moved into, but I wanted answers quickly. That wasn't until... You get away from me.
You're going to let me kiss you.
Oh my god, no. Whoa. I couldn't believe myself, but within a mirror. Okay, this is the wrong kind of seduce, and I did not want this. This is not kosher. One of the men went from lying on the floor to being right in my face. What was even more was the fact that I felt serene and calm about it. What? Slowly, a desire burned from my chest, telling me to accept his kiss.
And just even when bleeding men.
Just have the random stranger bleeding man on my floor kiss me, and it's totally fine. Go ahead.
Good.
This is what we were waiting for. Seduction.
As he kissed me, I could feel my body go weak. I didn't know why, but kiss was draining me of my energy, and yet it was so good it made my heart sink. What? It was a strange and tingling feeling that danced over my head. Dad, where are you? Dad. Stranger danger! Dad, stranger danger.
Sam, stop it.
Yes, Sam. Person kissing me. Sam was his name. Glanced behind him.
I said stop.
Yeah, stop it. Finally pulled back, and I was left standing there in a daze. Well, huh? I couldn't tell what was going on. My mind was completely enwrapped. Enwrapped? What kind of word is that? By the kiss in my thoughts, it melted into the depths of my forgotten memories.
Please forgive my brother. He's a bit reckless.
Okay, but apparently I don't have control over my feelings.
At least I feel a hell of a lot better than you right now.
Because you used your abilities on her.
You have abilities? And seducing?
Sam, you're such a reckless brute. Taking advantage of a beautiful young woman like her.
Shut that pretty boy mouth of yours before I rip it off your pretty boy face.
Did you say pretty boy in the same sentence?
Sheesh, you guys. Can we not fight right now? Not all of us are in the best state.
I guess you are right, Matthew.
I agree.
However, as the men got up and started to chat freely, my thoughts began to reassemble and not think about calling the police, huh? And I remembered my confusion and anger once again, only now multiplied tenfold. What?
Huh? Did you say something beautiful?
And I exploded. What is going on? Why the hell are you all here in my house? Why are you all wounded? Why did you kiss me? Who are you guys? I couldn't help exploding, but after being taken advantage of, being left in a mush state, my words escaped without filter. I definitely scared the men around me, and even the man who kissed me. Wait a second, the guy who kissed me.
Ouch! What's your problem?
What's your problem? You can't just go around forcing people to kiss you like that. Are you some kind of pervert?
Pervert? It was only a kiss!
Stab him. Stab him.
Make him bleed more.
More blood on the ground. It might mean nothing to you, but it means a lot to me. They're all butlers now. They all have to clean the place up.
What? Was it your first kiss? Ow! Hey! What was that for?
That was a yes. I know first kisses aren't exactly amazing and full of sparkles and something out of a fairy tale, but I had at least expected it to be more than just something forced.
So it was your first kiss. Stop making such a big deal out of it.
Kick him again. You asking to get punched again. Punch him forever.
What do you want me to do? It's not like I can somehow take it back.
Beat him up.
Ow! You're just being violent now!
No, I'm gonna kick your ass. I'm gonna kick your ass because it's been about 1 hour and 10 minutes, and I'm feeling a little violent right now, because I have not been seduced. And that was the worst kind of seducing. Anyway, if you try to pull any funny business in the future, just a fair warning. I know Taekwondo. You do? Mika knows Taekwondo.
Apparently. But would that really stop him?
That didn't help you.
That didn't help you. Would it help you next time? I don't think so.
Time to invest in the business of magical abilities. I think I bickered enough. Time to get back to the main issue. The main issue of stopping the video because it's 1 hour and 13 minutes. And I guess we finally got into it. So see you in the next one.
We just finally started getting seduced.
Yeah, in the next video I'm gonna get seduced so hard.